Hi, it's me Shruti. Now you're watching my YouTube channel Shruti's Pharma World. Today I'm going to teach you a new topic, that is forced circulation evaporator. Here we are going to concentrate the principle, construction, working, advantages, disadvantages and uses of this beautiful equipment. Let's start with principle. Before that, I'll give you a brief introduction about this apparatus. Here you can see the figure of forced circulation evaporator. Let's see what are the important parts that is present in a forced circulation evaporator. Here you can see a pump. So a pump is there and steam compartment. Okay, in a forced circulation evaporator, there will be a steam compartment and a vapor head. Okay, this vapor head is also known as flash chamber. Inside the flash chamber, there will be deflector. This deflector is used to break the foam, or it is also used to separate the vapor and liquid. Okay, this vapor head is connected to a return pipe. Here you can see a return pipe. Okay, one end of the vapor head is connected to a return pipe and the other end is connected to a cyclone separator. Okay, here you can see a cyclone separator. The cyclone separator is used to separate vapor and liquid fractions. Okay. So these are the important parts that is present in a forced circulation evaporator. I repeat, the forced circulation evaporator consists of a pump and a steam compartment, vapor head, and it is also connected to a cyclone separator. This vapor head is connected to a cyclone separator and a part of vapor head that is connected to a return pipe. Actually, this return pipe is connected to the inlet of the pump. You can see the return pipe is connected to the inlet of the pump. Okay. Actually, this steam compartment contains calandria. Calandria is the heat exchanger part which is used in forced circulation evaporator. Inside the steam compartment, there will be calandria. Calandria is used for the purpose of heat exchange. Inside the steam compartment, here you can see several vertical tubes are arranged in a parallel manner. Okay, actually these tubes are steam jacketed tubes. Steam jacketed tubes are arranged in a parallel manner. And this is mainly used for heat exchange. So this arrangement is known as calandria. Calandria is used to exchange heat. Okay, so these are the important parts which is present in a forced circulation evaporator. Now let's see what is the principle behind this apparatus. Forced circulation evaporator consists of a pump. With the help of this pump, the feed liquid is introduced into the vertical tubes. Okay, the feed liquid is introduced into the steam jacketed tubes. Here you can see several steam jacketed tubes. So, liquid feed is introduced through the steam jacketed tubes. Here we are applying high pressure. Okay, with the help of pump, here we are creating high pressure. Because of that, the boiling point of liquid increases. Okay, the boiling point of liquid become elevated. So, boiling does not occur in the tubes. So, boiling does not take place in these tubes. The liquid passes through these vertical tubes. During that journey, this liquid feed absorbs heat from the steam and it become heated. So the liquid passes through the tubes with a high positive velocity. Because of this pressure, the liquid rushes out of the tube and it enter into the vapor head. At that time, sudden flashing occurs because the pressure inside the vapor head is very low. Due to the pressure drop, sudden flashing or sudden vaporization occurs. When the liquid feed that strikes the deflector, it separates the liquid and the vapor, and the liquid that is returned through this pipe and it again enter into the inlet of the pump for further evaporation. The vapor which is escaped through the vapor outlet into a cyclone separator. So, this is the principle involved in forced circulation evaporator. Move on to the construction part. This apparatus consists of steam jacketed tubes. Okay, actually the steam jacketed tubes are held between two tube sheets. Each tube is having 0.1 meter inside diameter and about 2.5 meter length. And these tubes and the steam jacketed tubes are projected into the vapor head. This vapor head is also known as flash chamber. Inside the vapor head there will be deflector. This vapor head is connected to a return pipe. Okay, here you can see the return pipe. The vapor head is connected to the return pipe, and this pipe runs downward and it enters into the inlet of a pump. Okay, this vapor head is also connected to a cyclone separator. So these are the important parts which is present in a forced circulation evaporator. Hey, now let's see the working of forced circulation evaporator. Here you can see a steam inlet. Through the steam inlet, steam is introduced into the calandria. Okay, steam is introduced into the calandria, and with the help of this pump, liquid feed is introduced into the steam jacketed tubes with a high positive velocity. The liquid moves up through the tubes. During this journey, the liquid feed that absorb heat from the steam. Actually, the steam is present inside the calandria. Okay, so the liquid feed absorb heat from the steam and it get heated and it starts to produce vapor. Used vapor and liquid passes through the tubes and finally it rushes out of the tubes at a high velocity. Okay, and this liquid mixture, this vapor liquid mixture that strikes the deflector which throws the liquid downward. Okay, this deflector throws the liquid downward. This vapor that escapes through the vapor outlet and it enter into the cyclone separator. Okay, the liquid fraction which passes through this return pipe and it enter into the inlet of the pump for further evaporation. Okay, we can collect the concentrated product through this concentrated product outlet. So this is the working procedure that is involved in a forced circulation evaporator. First of all, steam is introduced through the steam inlet into the calandria. Calandria is present inside the steam compartment. So steam is introduced into the calandria. Then with the help of this pump, liquid feed is introduced into the steam jacketed tubes. Next, liquid feed is introduced into the steam jacketed tubes with a high positive velocity. Liquid feed that moves through this tube, the liquid feed that moves up through these tubes. During this journey, the liquid feed absorbs heat from the steam, and by absorbing heat from the steam, the liquid feed gets heated and it starts to produce vapor. This vapor and the liquid feed rushes out of the tube with a high velocity, and this mixture and vapor that strikes the deflector. Okay, this deflector that throws the liquid downward. The deflector throws the liquid downward and this liquid this liquid passes through the return pipe and it again enter into the inlet of the pump for further evaporation. The vapor which is present in the vapor head that passes through the vapor outlet into a cyclone separator. From the cyclone separator, we can collect the vapor. And the concentrated liquid which is passes through the return pipe. Finally, we can collect the concentrated product through this concentrated product outlet. So this is a working procedure that is involved in forced circulation evaporator. Now let's see what are the important uses of forced circulation evaporator. If forced circulation evaporator is connected to vacuum system, then we can handle thermolabile materials. For example, for the concentration of insulin liquors, liver extracts, we can use such an arrangement. Main advantages: in this apparatus, heat transfer coefficient is high because of rapid movement of liquid. Because of that, evaporation will be occur in a faster rate. Salting, scaling and falling are not possible in this case. This evaporator is also suitable for thermolabile substances because of rapid evaporation. Because the retention time is very low in this case, so we can also use thermolabile substances. For the concentration of thermolabile substances, we can choose forced circulation evaporator. By using this equipment, we can also concentrate high viscous preparations, because in this case we are using pump. So for the concentration of high viscous preparations, we can also choose forced circulation evaporator. The main disadvantage is that the equipment is very expensive, because this apparatus require high power. So power consumption is high. So this is the main disadvantage of forced circulation evaporator. The equipment is very expensive and it require more power for the circulation, for the forced circulation of liquid. So these are the important points regarding forced circulation evaporator.